Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Crystalline Cards for your weekly picky card reading and held in Italian. This week's question is, want to know more about your new lover's nature? And beware, I'm gonna remove those rose-tinted glasses of yours, okay? So, you're in if you want to know more about your new lover's nature, okay? Now, if you like my videos, you can leave a comment and a like, or you can subscribe to my channel, of course, you know that. So let's start with our 3 piles of cards that provide you with your answers. Pile number 1, or stack number 1, with the triple goddess medallion on it. Pile number 2 has Metatron's cube on it. And pile number 3 has a 7 archangels on it. Archangels. Now, I leave you a few seconds to decide which of the 3 piles are yours. So, I think you're ready by now. If you don't mind, I'm going to start right away with pile number 1. People who chose the triple goddess medallion. This is your reading. Stage number 1. The 10 of Pentacles. The 6 of Swords, the Queen of Wands. Second stage, the Ace of Swords, upside down, 8 of Wands. The third stage, the Hierophant, Major Arcana card, the 9 of Swords, and the last card, I leave it covered, okay? So, what about your new lover's nature? I'm very, very curious about that. We have the 10 of Pentacles, our first card. Now, this card means that for him, the foundation of your relationship how do you call it? If you are in this stage or this stage or this stage, there's a difference. So, in this stage, in the first stage, it was material comfort. Most of you couples, however, prefer a solid foundation with domestic harmony, conventional family traditions. So this is the dream scenario he has in mind, or he had in mind. Now the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 is a transitional number. It speaks of moving from one cycle to the next, of taking things to the next level, of building on what you have. So there is definitely a movement in the 10s, okay? He has worked his way through the other numbers, but the 10 is almost as if there's too much energy, so it's time to start moving again. So this is, like the beginning, the movement towards a new life, towards a new stage. Alright? And this is a card. This is the card he has worked his way through. I told you about, he worked his way through different things, different situations. This is the card he worked his way through. This is a card about pain, about sorrow, the sorrow and the pain he carries from incidences in his past. Maybe he had a glum childhood, maybe he had a breakup or a past abusive relationship. Now the best thing that can be said for this placement is that he sailed on from a difficult time in his life. So the card is a transition and the movement I told you about. It's of moving on and leaving the past behind you. So he left the past behind him, just like the previous card, alright? Then we have the Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands is likely to represent you. So there's clearly the need for love and appreciation in your life. You normally are energetic, strong and compassionate, and you may be a fire sign. Not always, but in most cases, you may be an Aries, a Leo, Sagittarius. And now your guy wants someone like you, who is independent, outgoing, who has an abundance of sex appeal and a great sense of humor. With you, he is, gradually arriving at a level in his development and in his transition. And now he's able to more clearly see where he has been, and he can finally appreciate the past trials as much as he can appreciate the victories, for the good and the bad. So at this stage, he feels like a more complete person. So this is a very good beginning of the reading. Let's hope that it goes on like that. The second stage, the Ace of Swords. I told you, with the previous card, with the Queen of Wands here, that he was gradually arriving at a new level. And now with the Ace of Swords, we can see that he really has arrived at a new level, that new beginning in his life, because Aces stand for new beginnings. So it's a very clear card. It's the ultimate fresh wave of energy. This is a Swords card. So it should have become clear to him by now that improved communication almost always makes for better relationships. So that he should make sure to express his true feelings and to express his wants and his needs in these relationships. So therefore he will most likely attract someone with the same values, well, like you, for instance, okay? Now the conversation that the two of you share will come naturally here. And the chemistry between the two of you, well, it's strong, it's all consuming. So let's hope it stays that way. And then we have the second card. It's the Eight of Wands, but in reverse position. I show it to you in the upright position. For you, it is the reverse. Now, the Eight of Wands is all about momentum, about progress. But when the card is reversed, like here, there is often a problem with this movement. Whether it's about to come to an abrupt stop, or it's moving ahead at breakneck speed. So this card appearance usually indicates that it's time to stop, to take a moment, to reevaluate the situation that is before you in order to achieve the desired result. So sometime in your relationship you will sense that he backs off a bit. And that is nothing to worry about really. He is just, well, evaluating the relationship. He wants to be sure if he's on the right path in his life. That's all. Alright? The third stage, the Hierophant. This is the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant means full commitment. Therefore, the Hierophant in a love context is a very good sign. It's associated with traditional, solid relationships, and it indicates that you and your partner are on the same page about many things. This is not a normal relationship, but one that feels like, well, it was meant to be. The Hierophant is the marriage and the commitment card of the Major Arcana, so it could be a very good card if you really want to keep this commitment. But I want to make something clear. You may be dealing with someone, and this is typical for the Hierophant card, that I tell you that you may be dealing with someone who is very set in their ways. Not only will your morality take center stage, and his morality, but traditions will also play a significant role at this time in his life. So the traditions in question will often reflect those which are held by our families and the society which a person is a part of. So we see this card often when you want to marry someone of another religion or someone from a place with different customs. So keep in mind that you will need a different mindset in this union. Your partner will not change his mind about certain traditions. You can try to change him, but it won't work. You are the one that needs to adapt in order for this relationship to blossom. Otherwise it will end. So this is the most important card who gives a lot of information about your new lover's nature. Very important card. Then we have here the Nine of Swords. This is a card of tristesse, of sadness. Now, it is indicated that sometimes it's going to be, if it is not already, things are not going great in your love life, or it won't be. So it's possible that you and your partner argue a lot, and it's causing you both a great amount of stress or anxiety. Or maybe you will feel isolated because you have difficulty to adapt to new traditions or a new way of life. You will worry about the future of the relationship, and this can be the end of your relationship sometimes, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It depends on your flexibility in this matter. Okay? Then we have our last card, Ecclesiastic. The card of Ecclesiastic. This is the card of religions, of morals. So as we could already see in the reading, a certain religion or certain morals, traditions will be very important in your relationship with this guy, especially what your partner is concerned. You will have to adapt to this, okay? You will be the one that has to adapt if you want your relationship to succeed. So in general, even if it is not apparent yet, it will become very clear in time that your other half is holding on to his beliefs very hard. If you love him enough, keep in mind that you have to adjust yourself to this way of living. It's his way or the highway, so to speak. Maybe you cannot see it right now, maybe he's more moderate now, but it will change. He will become more rigid, all right? Now, if you're all right with that, with those strict traditions and other things, then your relationship will blossom. He wants you. That is very clear. He wants you. His intentions are very good. But you are the main actor here. Your decision to leave him or to stick with him will be the relationship to an end or to a deeper level. Okay? All right. So, this was your reading. I hope it resonates to you. If not, take what you can use, leave the rest. It's a general reading, so sometimes it doesn't resonate. Maybe it resonates to someone you know very well. Also, genders are interchangeable, so don't pin me down on it. So I hope you like it. If you like it, leave me a comment, leave me a like, and we see each other again next week. All right. So this was pile number 1. Then we start with pile number 2, with the Metatrans cube on top of it. Pile number 2. The 8 of Swords. The 4 of Swords. The 7 of Pentacles. The second stage, the 4 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups. The third stage, the Queen of Cups. And the 7 of Cups. And on the last card, we leave it covered till last. Okay? We start with the beginning. I'm sorry, I've got a bad cold, so excuse me for my noise. First card is the 8 of Swords. Now, this card is about feeling trapped, being hurt, feeling confined or backed into a corner in a relationship. Maybe your lover felt this in a previous relationship. Or maybe he was the victim of an abusive or toxic relationship in the past. So he may be cautious, afraid of getting stuck in a, well, some sort of repetitive cycle, you know. Let's see. Then we have the 4 of Swords. Now the 4 of Swords tells me that he might have been dealing with conflict in his life, with conflict in his family, a previous relationship, maybe a conflict in friend circle that has caused him, well, to feel overwhelmed and maybe even mentally overloaded. So this tells me that he needed or should need some introspection and solitude in order to contemplate what he really wants in a partner. And I don't know if he did it, but he should. Then we have the 7 of Pentacles. Now the 7 of Pentacles is a card of success after hard work. So in this case, mental work in the emotional sphere. He may be reflecting, or he should be reflecting, on past relationships. Why? Because he needs to get a better sense of what he really wants from a future relationship. If he didn't do the hard work of contemplating and reflecting on past relationships, he won't be able to get a satisfying relationship. I can tell you that. So, well, it is different from one person to the other. Some of your lovers, for some of you, your lover did the introspection. Some other guys didn't do it, fortunately. We have the 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups. Well, it's rather depressing when you see she has cups in front of her, but she's not smiling. So this tells me that your lover was feeling bored, disillusioned in life. He was focusing on the negative. Maybe he was feeling like the grass was greener on the other side. That's also possible. He felt like he lost his passion and motivation for life, but then he found you. And let's see if you made him change his mind, or if he still has the grass is greener on the other side problem. Okay? The second card is the 10 of Cups. This is your current partner's feelings towards you. You see? At the beginning of the relationship. I don't know if you're at this stage, but in the beginning of the relationship, he thinks about you like this, and it looks very beautiful. He thinks he has a relationship, that this is a relationship that has great potential, that with this relationship he will be well, like in the fairy tales, living ever happily ever after. And this is what he has always dreamed about, and he didn't find it yet. So he wants to find this fairy tale with you. Then the next card, the last stage, Queen of Cups. Now this means that you make him feel secure, you make him feel happy. He knows that his heart is being taken care of. He feels valued. And you and your partners share passion and love. Beware though. After some time, with the Queen of Cups tells you that after some time, your partner might be getting complacent in this relationship. There could be the danger that in the future he will stop appreciating this relationship and that he is getting more negative emotions or feeling some boredom, okay? Now, when I take it with the last card here, the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Wands, leading a happily ever after is the overall meaning of this, but only if one of the partners is not self-sabotaging at cost of the relationship. So that is very important. If one of you is self-sabotaging, and he's the one, if someone is self-sabotaging the relationship, probably he will be the one, okay? So keep that in mind. Then, this is the last card. This is the Seven of Cups. Now the Seven of Cups can be a sign that he will be putting too much energy into, well, fantasizing about what he wishes your relationship would be, instead of dealing with the reality of the relationship. Now it can also indicate that he might be feeling discontented. Why? Because the initial butterflies in the stomach phase of the relationship has passed. And of course, just because the initial excitement may have worn off, doesn't mean that couples can't have a passionate fun relationship if they put the effort in. But he doesn't feel that way. He becomes discontented about the relationship when the butterflies in the stomach are gone. This is also, the Seven of Cups is also the card of temptation. And I rather didn't see that here. There might be a risk. There might be a risk that when the discontentment appears and the butterflies have gone, that he starts seeking temporary pleasures that could bring permanent damage to your relationship. I'm sorry to say that, but this is not a good card. Then the last card, we had the sweetheart, but it's upside down. That is not good. This is the sweetheart in the upright position. For you is upside down. Now, I guess it's clear to you that this reverse sweetheart card is not positive. It tells me that this relationship probably won't last. For many of you, your new lover who looks like the perfect match will probably lose his initial interest after some time. I hope I'm wrong about this. Now, in general, there are many cup cards here. We have the Four of Cups, we have the Ten of Cups, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Seven of Cups, many cup cards. So, in the beginning of the relationship, this means that he has really good intentions towards you, really good emotion as well. But he has been emotionally damaged in the past by a previous relationship, be it with his family or a previous lover. He cannot cope with the real feeling of love without a wild passion. It is normal that the initial feeling of overwhelming passion tempers a bit after some time, but he cannot deal with that. He needs adrenaline, the butterflies. So when, the passion tempers a bit, he will seek that passion with someone else. And if he doesn't seek help, he will keep on doing that for the rest of his love life. So this is not a very good ending. Maybe you knew this already or you sensed this already. This is very well possible. But it doesn't seem to me that this relationship for most of you will survive. Okay? So this was your reading. I hope that you can find yourself in it, that it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, this is a general reading, so it cannot resonate for everyone. Take what you can use and leave the rest here. And maybe you have more luck next time. Alright? See you next time, guys. Bye-bye. So, the last pile of cards with the 7 archangels on top of it. These are your cards. First card, 9 of Cups. Second card, Ace of Cups. Third card, the Fool. Second stage, Nine of Swords. Three of Swords. The third or the last stage, the King of Wands and the Chariot. And then we leave the Gypsy Oracle card covered. Alright? So, first card, the Nine of Cups. This is the first card. Now, this card suggests to me that at a certain moment your new lover got out there to meet new people. He has had various relationships. He tasted the different things that life offers. He's fueled by self-love. He's ready to extend that love to someone else. But this card can also have an advice over your lover. The chance to have something he really wants could blind him to the practical realities. He could be likely to follow a false passion towards oblivion. Okay? So, that is, of course, a trap. Let's see how that works out. We have the Ace of Cups. This was the beginning of your relationship. This ace stands for new beginnings. This card, well, ushers in a fresh start that leaves the past behind, enhances what is new. Maybe even for some of you, this new relationship could be with a past flame or a past lover that came back into your life again. Whatever the case, he thought in the beginning that you were the one he has been waiting for. Okay? Then, we have the Fool. Now, the Fool card here tells me that this relationship will be a rewarding experience that will contribute to your growth and to his growth as a human being. Now, the new adventure you have together could be a literal one, may involve also traveling to a new land or territories you've never visited before. And this card refers to a period of time where your lover will be filled with optimism and freedom and well, yeah, feeling free and feeling free from the usual constraints in life, you know. So this is a very beautiful beginning of a very important romance, but it doesn't automatically imply that the romance will be the lasting one, of course. So we have to wait for that. Second stage, the Nine of Swords, and it's a bit of a depressing card, isn't it? Now, I'm going to tell you something. I see the combo here of the Ace of Cups, I forgot, and the Fool. It stands for seeds of compassion and love, this combination. It has a potential to grow. The Fool advises your lover not to hold back. So, to follow his path. He will be advised from above to follow this path. He may be taking some risks every now and then. Maybe if he's an ex-lover, he will think that the same shit will happen again as in the past. But he is advised from above to follow his path again. So we need to wait till later if it's the right decision he made. All right. So the next card. I told you already. This is the Nine of Swords, the second stage. It's an indication that after a period of time, things are not going well in your love life anymore. The initial optimism and good feelings have gone. It's possible that you and your partner have been arguing a lot. If you're still in the first stage, you will be arguing a lot. It's causing you both a great amount of stress, anxiety. So this is not a very good card, and well, either is this card. It's a Three of Swords. It's a mental process here. As we have a wounded heart, the card refers to something negative. It seems to me that your lover is thinking about your relationship. He's analyzing it a great deal, and he has discovered that the relationship isn't correspondent with the ideal or the goal he was aiming for. Now, of course, this can lead to feelings of disappointment, or even a heartbreak. He feels heartbroken. So this was very optimistic. These are sad feelings. Then we have the King of Wands. Now the King of Wands tells me that your new lover is a very passionate person. He can also have quite of a temper sometimes. But once the king sets for himself a certain aim or a certain goal, he is going to conveniently stick to it in order to ensure that it becomes a reality. So despite of all these negative feelings in the second stage, he will not give up just yet. So he will put extra effort into the relationship in order to save it. Of course, you also have a part to play in this situation. You understand that if you talk about what's going wrong in the relationship and both of you are willing to save the relationship and keep the end of the bargain, then you will have more chance to save the relationship than when you both keep making the same mistakes. That's normal. For instance, your King of Wands is someone who needs his freedom. This is typically for the King of Wands. He needs his freedom. If you quarrel a lot because you don't trust him or you act needy, you should change that attitude in order to save your relationship, or it will go down the drain. Alright? Then we have the Chariot card here. Now the Chariot tells me that the goal you seek is attainable. A battle for control will be won. So if you both do what is expected of you, your relationship will survive the bad times. Confidence, as well as unity of purpose and control is needed. And most especially motivation is needed. And this card can in fact indicate new motivation or inspiration, which, well, gets a stagnant situation. This was a stagnant situation. To get this stagnant situation moving again. So this card tells me that you are both in command of your own destiny. When I see these two cards, the Chariot and the King of Wands together, when they are paired together, I guess that they are about the strongest reflection of willpower, of capability and strength you can imagine. This combination of the King of Wands and the Chariot, to me, is a sign that the skill to take a vision and to drive it into the material world is fully accessible. And the feeling of power that these cards represent, it's pleasant for the ego, which needs to be in control and prefers the illusion of running the show over the reality of the need to surrender. So take command of your own future. You have to take command of your own future, okay? Then we have the last card. It's a card of loss. What does it tell? Is everything lost? No. With every storm comes a calm. And this calm is reached here in the first, in the beginning. And when you act with motivated and in unity, with the strength, it will come again. So with every storm comes a calm. That's being reached now or in the very near future. Now, we saw that you both have experienced some kind of loss. It has left its marks, bad feelings leave their marks. But it looks to me as though the time of sorrow, casting a shadow over you both, is over. I guess the difficult phase will be over in the end, as long as you both are motivated to take your chance on a smooth relationship. He will be the one that is very motivated to work hard for it. It depends on you. If you are not willing to work hard, this relationship will end. If also you are willing to work hard, this relationship will survive. So, in general, a beautiful new romance has been going on. Your lover feels wonderful about you, but after some time, reality checks in with him and the relationship goes downhill. He will be heartbroken, he will be sad, but, which is very important, he's going to do everything in his power to save that relationship. He's a winner, he doesn't give up. So it's up to you if you are willing or not to put in your amount of work. Maybe you prefer to move on, that's also possible. But he will not decide to break up. He is the one who tends to see things through till the end with you. So the outcome is up to you. Okay? So, this reading revealed some inside information on your new lover. Not all is roses, not all is rainbows, but I guess that everyone has times in their relationship when everything seems to be going down the drain a bit, and then it depends on the nature of your lover and of yourself, of course. If you believe your relationship, if your belief counts for the relationship to be saved or not. So, this was this week's reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope also that it resonated to you. It's a general reading, so it doesn't always necessarily resonate. If it resonates to you, it's very good. If it didn't, better luck next time. Maybe there's something you can take out to help, and you leave what you cannot use. I will see you again, guys. So praise Antalya. I love you guys. Bye bye. Till next week.